To initialize the data loggers, we need, in addition to the data logger itself, the optic USB base station with coupler 2C, the blue one, and the Hoverware Pro software. The first step is to label each one of the data loggers with the site and depth at where they are going to be deployed to differentiate the loggers. Next step is to attach the blue labeled coupler to the optic USB base station and firmly introduce the data logger in it. Pay attention to align correctly the arrow on the logger with the slot on the cap. Open Hoverware software and connect the optic USB base station to a USB port on your computer. Below the menu, there are several quick start icons, which are useful to launch, read out, and get status of data logger. At first use, check the icon for unit system. We should use the International Unit System. If we look at the bottom of the main screen, we can see the system is ready and that there is no device connected. When we attach the USB to the computer, we can see how a device appears. We can also see if the device is ready and the data logger type and serial number in the bottom left corner. If not, you might disconnect and reconnect the USB base station until communication with the data logger is established. We can perform in two different ways to launch the data loggers: by clicking on the device menu and then Launch Logger. Or we can directly use the launch icon, first icon to the left. We should make sure we are launching the right device, and then we click on the OK button. Here is the main launch screen. The first step is to check that the battery status is OK. If the battery level is low, or if a warning message is displayed, you should discard the logger and use a new one. We first set the name. This will be the file name used for the data file when you will read out the logger. So we should use a name that makes sense and allows to differentiate the loggers for each deployment, site, and depth. Here is a typical file name structure, which must contain information on launch date, year and month, underscore site name, and underscore depth monitoring on 2 digits. Check the temperature sensor is activated. Below are the deployment options. Set the sampling interval to 1 hour. Set the date and time of start. For this, we choose the option on Date Time. As we are deploying several data loggers, this is very useful to have all loggers starting at the same time. Indicate the date and time. Note that the logger is synchronized to the computer, meaning all loggers launched by the same computer will have the exact same time. We can now validate the start by clicking on the Delayed Start button at the bottom right-hand corner. The information is transmitted to the logger and confirmation displayed. You can now detach the logger from the optic USB base station. In case of doubt, you can check directly from the data logger if it has been correctly launched by looking through the optical window. You should see through the optical window of the Hobber U22 a small red light blink. A well-initialized data logger blinks a red light once every 8 seconds, as you can see in the video, meaning that it was launched in delayed start mode. A currently logging logger blinks at a faster rate. In the video, you can compare a well-launched one on the left against a wrong initialized one on the right. Note that the wrong initialized data logger is currently recording and blinks at a faster rate than the correctly initialized one. Replace the logger in its rubber protection. Label the protection with site and depth to ease their recognition for underwater operation. Attach all the data loggers of the same survey to a line that allows an easy detach once in the water. We recommend attaching the loggers to a line in order, in a way that the deepest one could be the first one to be detached from the line.